So last year we gave away 100 million seeds, and this year we're going to give away 250 million native Irish wildflower seeds. Our idea behind that is that we hope to introduce, wildflowers into people's gardens, into their communities, into their lives, and bring awareness of biodiversity and the importance of it, and the importance of pollinators in the environment. The importance of native wildflowers and native planting in Ireland is that they have been here for millennia, and that our wildlife have gotten used to having this as their habitat. So you will get a much more biodiverse amount of creatures living upon native plants than you would on non-native plants. I got in contact with Sandro Cafola about 3 or 4 years ago, and we had this idea of coming up with a wildflower project that we can incorporate into our farm to help us with biodiversity and introduce pollinators, and also to keep a balance of predator to pest within our crop as well.
For the last 200 years, we've known that plants flower at certain times. You can predict when primroses and daffodils are going to come up. They're going to come up in spring. So it's very important that all the wildlife is in sync with the plants. Plants are the basic building biology of all nature. I have to go around the mountains, down the rivers, around the cliffs, over the meadows, knock on farmers' doors and get into places. And we have to pick flowers, then we bring them back here. Then we grow them all in small collections, and each year we bulk them up. And then when we have 100 or 1,000, we plant them out in rows on a farm. And then we start to commercially produce them. But we're only on the first generation.
The interconnection between the wildflowers and the bees and all types of pollinators is massively important, not just for our crops, but also for everybody. The wildflowers that are pollinated in nature, the trees and everything, all rely on pollinators. And without that, we would start seeing nature deteriorate over time.
Over the last 90 plus years, the Keelings business has benefited massively from the environment in terms of water, in terms of light, sunshine, all the different benefits you get from the environment, the soil and everything else. So we do feel a responsibility to look after the environment because it's given so much to us. And it's just become really obvious over the last couple of years how important it is to get it right in terms of environment. It's always something we focused on, but I think the challenge is to get even better and do that faster.
Once we saw how well the wildflower project was working for the farm, we decided that we'd love to see the wider public reaping that benefit as well. Sandro is an amazing guy. He's been talking about wildflowers for over 30 years, and he's been ahead of the game on this in terms of biodiversity and the importance of wildflower and nature.
In our gardens, we would be looking at how to bring in butterflies, bees, birds, and a host of other insects. By bringing in these insects and animals and species into your garden, you're creating a biodiversity that has relationships. So there's a relationship between the blackbird and the robin eating the slug's eggs, or the shrew eating all the insects and keeping the predator populations down. What we've got to explain to the public is that there is a place for wildlife and wildness and rewilding in your garden. And Keelings Rewilding is about that 1 metre, that 2 metre space. If we have 1 million homes in Ireland, that's 1 million square metres, and the public are getting the genuine, authentic Irish native provenance wildflower seed.